Welcome everyone to City Chat with City Magazine. I'm Kilee Harmon, General Manager of City Magazine, and today we are visiting with Anita Casey Reed and Mike Swenson.
Yes.
Howdy.
And you guys are part of Urban Harvest.
Yes.
Indeed.
Very cool. Now, Anita, how are you involved with Urban Harvest?
I've been on the board for about 4 years now, and we're an all-volunteer organization. We have a couple of executive directors who help us out during the season. And what we do is try to bring a little bit of summertime fun to Bismarck's downtown. This has been going on for about 7 years now.
Wow, it started 7 years ago?
Well, if I remember correctly, it's all a blur at some point.
I can understand that.
But what happens is it's really a way to celebrate all of the great local talent we have in Bismarck and Mandan. And talent has so many different forms. We have people who are talented at making food. We have people who are talented at making music, like Mike. We have people who are talented at making crafts or performing. We have dancers, we have singers, we have all sorts of things, and it's a really great way to celebrate all of the wonderful things we have locally and be able to encourage and support those people.
So how did it become? Somebody around sitting around one table one day said, hey, we should do an Urban Harvest, or what happened?
Basically, some people, Ramona Redding Lopez, Tracy and Dan Wannick, some other folks like that, had all been to other cities that have this as more of a permanent sort of thing. Cities that have sort of a green space where people can have farmers markets, where local artisans can show off their wares, where local performers can do their thing. And it became a question of, well, why not in Bismarck? And so went to the city, got permission to start doing this on Thursdays for a set amount of time in the summertime, and it's just taken off in leaps and bounds from there.
So now, when is Urban Harvest? You said on Thursdays. And
right. So this year it's July 14th through August 18th on Thursdays. People start loading in fairly early in the morning. If you're looking for the farmers market produce, start coming about 10 o'clock or so. 10 o'clock is also when we start some of the kids' hour activities. We've got great people coming in. Luke Grainer's going to do a concert. The Suzuki School of Music is going to show off some of their performers. Northern Plain Dance, they're going to come in. We've got a lot of people all over the community who want to be involved with it, and it runs from around 10 in the morning until about 8 at night, or we all just decide it's time to stop partying and go home.
So is this like a free thing for people who can just come to?
Yes, this is completely free. The city has helped us by blocking off certain parts around 4th and Broadway so that vendors can set up. The street is blocked off and open. Kids can run around.
Oh, fun.
We're going to have hula hoops and other things like that to kind of keep everybody going. The Downtowners Association has always been really very helpful to Urban Harvest as far as providing porta potties and electricity and the other things that are needed to kind of make this go. And then we've got fantastic community sponsors like Basin Electric, MDU, Nightlife Music. Eckroth Music provides the PA system for all of our performers. So we have a lot of great community support that makes it something that everyone can enjoy, but we encourage people to spend money there. There's going to be a lot of really neat things for sale, a lot of neat things to eat, and we encourage people to come on down and spend money locally.
Well, what type of vendors do you guys have then?
Well, usually we have roughly between 20 and 40 vendors. It depends on a lot of people come in at the last minute. A lot of people like to do it for 1 or 2 to just test it out and then see if they want to keep doing it. And you get a wide variety of crafts and arts. You've got people doing portraits, you've got people doing, painting type artwork, you've got other people who are making jewelry, you've got people making accessories, my daughter has this beautiful hand-stitched Red Riding Hood type robe that one woman specializes in, and she'll make you a Dorothy Wizard of Oz outfit for kids. I mean, there's all sorts of things. There was one person who was making duct tape wallets one year. We've got somebody else, we usually have people doing tie-dye and all sorts of things. One of the really neat things that we're doing for the first time this year is we're having a sponsored booth through Basin where somebody, and we've really encouraged people under the age of 18 to apply for this. You can come in for a day and just test out, see if your wares have a market. And so
really
that
nice.
gives younger people a chance to really kind of explore this. And then you have people doing woodworking. We had one woman last year doing furniture where everything sold out like that. It's such a wide variety of things.
Okay, so what about now for food vendors? You guys said, who do you normally have come to be the vendor for the food?
We've got a mix of old and new this year. We're going to have some of the standbys. The Walrus, of course, will come down. Grandpa's Barbecue. I have not heard yet from the egg roll lady, but I have my fingers crossed about that. You know you do too, Mike. And we also have some newbies. The Patisserie and the Toasted Frog are joining forces to do lunch and dinner type things. We've got Norm's, the truck that goes around to places.
Yeah, lunch truck or whatever.
Right. So we're going to have your good for you, bad for you bratwursts and sort of things like that.
Awesome.
So there's going to be a very wide variety of food. And there's also lots of food from the surrounding businesses as well. So it's not just the things that are there. It's about this whole area of downtown Bismarck and really spending locally within the community and enjoying all of the great things that we have here downtown.
Now, you talked a lot about that there are performers, and obviously Mike Swenson, you are one of them. Who else do you all have who are performing, and what types of performances are there?
I think the only thing we probably do not have on the schedule this year is we do not have a hip-hop kind of act. Everything else, though, I think we pretty much have covered. We have things that are more kid-oriented. We have singer-songwriters. We have a doo-wop group coming in.
Fun.
We've got polkas. We've got bluegrass.
You got to have the polkas for the old people who want to do the polka square dance thing.
It's not just my neighbors, the Knutsons. It's everybody loves to polka. You know.
I think I need my mother and father-in-law to get down here because I can see them doing a little bit of polka dancing.
So you've got that, and then you've got jazz. John Kruger is going to be down. Then you get more of like the funkier, the groove type music. You've got some people playing cover songs everybody loves, right? And then you've got a lot of people doing their own originals.
So when are the performances?
Scattered throughout the day. We've got at 10 o'clock at the Children's Hour. We've got more in terms of performances. Luke is doing music, but then some of the other things are Northern Plains will be doing dancing, Sleepy Hollow and Shade Tree Players will be doing excerpts from the things they're doing this year. That's more in the 10 o'clock hour. Noontime, we have more of the singer-songwriter type things like Mike do. And it's really nice for people coming in for lunchtime. You know, everybody's streaming out of like the Wells Fargo building and all the other offices around here, get a bite to eat and get to sit in the sun for a little while.
And enjoy the weather.
Exactly. And then what we're doing is in the afternoon, we're going to turn things over to the public. We've got Chris Kitco and Jamie Ridnow are going to split the duties, and we're having open mic in the afternoon.
Fun.
So anybody, doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter what you want to do, you know, get up there and give it a shot.
And do your thing.
Do your thing. And then after work, we're going to have the return of the drum circle. Many people have asked about that.
What is that?
Anybody can bring a percussion instrument if they want to and just
jam out
after work. You know, everything just kind of opens up at that point. And then around 6 o'clock-ish, we usually have the opening band for the evening, and then around 7 or so we have the headliner for the night. So you're going to have a broad variety of performances throughout the afternoon. But really the thing about this event, and a lot of things in Bismarck, is there are all these wonderful things to do, but it's a small enough town that if you want to be involved, you need to get involved. You know, if you want to be a performer at Urban Harvest, well, just come on down
And do it.
and give it a shot. And then, if next year you think to yourself, yeah, I want to do this, then it's just very easy to contact us. And we're constantly trying to get in new people and show off.
And what if
new
someone
talent.
doesn't have an instrument that they can play? Because obviously, Mike, you play the guitar while you sing.
Right,
I mean,
right.
what if someone doesn't have that? Can they still do it?
They can, we've got the a cappella doo-wop group this year. If people want to do it, they can contact us, and if we have space on the schedule, we're always interested in trying to bring in new talent, new kinds of things. If people want to play a violin, if they want to tap dance, if they want to do a stand-up routine, it's their call, and we can try to fit people in as best we can.
Very cool. Well, with that, we got to turn over to Mike here because, I mean, this is pretty awesome. He's got a guitar here. It looks like you're ready to rock out.
I'll certainly try.
How long have you been a performer?
I've been performing going on almost 6 years now. Came back to North Dakota about a year and a half ago after kind of being out and about, I'll say.
Out in a boot.
Out in a boot. Came in, and I was nice enough to meet Anita's husband, Tim, who's a great bass player here in town with a few different bands, and we had done a few shows together last summer, and he's like, we do this thing called Urban Harvest. You need to check it out. So I did, and they had me on. I did a noon show last year, which was really cool. I was coming home from a little mini tour, and it just worked out well to come home and to end up on a street corner for fun and not
singing
for
away.
food. So it was
for funny.
It was great. It was absolutely wonderful. And to go back to your question, I think
How long have you been performing?
about 6 years.
About 6 years.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
right. Sorry.
As far as if somebody called Urban Harvest, or if they didn't have an instrument, I think with the musicians that are involved, it probably wouldn't be a problem. But between the people that are in the lineups, I mean, if a kid showed up and said, I know how to play guitar, I don't have one, odds are one of us will say, you know what, here's a guitar, have fun.
Very cool.
Let's hear what you got. And it's just been a great experience overall. The summer, so in 2008, I guess, and I'd been in town or passing through town on some of those Thursdays, and just to see the community involved in something like this is absolutely incredible. And I think we had Jim Cambites from Dakota Media Access at a meeting we had a little while back, and he made a really good observation that when he had first seen Urban Harvest, it was a big realization that Bismarck is one of the few towns that doesn't have a city center. We don't have a park. We don't have
a big green space where people can run around. Yeah.
And for this event to come along and for the city to agree, okay, we're gonna give you guys a street to play with, make it your own,
fun.
and and it might be something that might give way. And I know we've had a couple people where, I look at this old building right on the corner there, and we've joked, it's like, would that look really nice if that was gone,
and it could be green.
There was a couple trees and a park bench or something there that we could, or maybe a little stage on the corner. You go to other towns throughout the Midwest, and
there's always something in the center, in the heart of town, there's kind of like a green area.
Right.
It's like, have a spot to go eat your lunch. At Bismarck, it's like, you get to, if you're working downtown, it's like, well, I'm going to go down to Main Street, and if you have time, it's, you have Fiesta or Toasted Frog, or you have that, or you can run down to McDonald's or something. But when Urban Harvest comes in, and it's like, you know what, I want mini donuts and a double cheeseburger from Walrus,
and an egg roll.
And an egg roll.
And an egg roll from the egg roll lady. Oh,
Yes.
very cool. So what song are you going to perform for us today?
I'll actually start with one of my favorite cover tunes. We don't have the band with us, but it's one that a lot of people of different genres would probably know. So it's a Willie Nelson tune.
Ooh. Well, let's go, Willie.
It's for my mom.